Okay, this is first garden update for 2022, January 9th. Um, Garden looks so different and bare um, compared to even a week ago. We had a winter freeze come on, not as bad as the one from early last year, and crossing our finger that we don't have that. But yes, so we have a lot of plants that didn't make it, or I had to cut down. The leaves are not good, but there are some areas that I covered and they did remarkably well. Wanted to show updates on the patio. So this is the area where I have used to have that underneath this workbench used to be an actual garden bed. Actually, it's my first one ever, and it just over the years it's just hasn't been performing well. I don't know if I'm just not putting enough and I know I'm putting compost. Maybe it's just not the right plants, but I just kind of got tired of it, and I wanted to make room for the patio. This workbench was actually here in this area, so it kind of enclosed this whole patio, and my patio is not that big. And you can see I have a lot of stuff that I have to clear out. I still have cement and paver base that I have to use to create this walkway. I'm preserving some of the, like these used to be part of the kids bunk and Andrew's bunk bed, but I'm preserving that so I can use it as trellis. So yeah, so my vision is that this area right here where Nina is laying down and completely towards this area will have a walkway, a patio, like a concrete walkway, kind of meandering, not in a straight line. I was gonna do this entire area as like as a square pattern, uh, but I always like the flow. I'm not a big fan of straight lines. So I kind of just do straight lines, and then I can't help it, and then I'll just have to curve, and I just keep curving all throughout. So really the only lines that I have are in the patio and in this section right here, which may change because these blocks right here are really not set in uh, pardon the pun, not set in stone, so they can pretty much be moved. And just now that I'm talking, I'm actually seeing in my mind these stones shifting, kind of waving in a wavy pattern, and that would allow me some areas like where Nina's butt is at. If we extend it a little bit out this way and then extend it a little bit that way, will still give me maybe half a foot more of gardening space without really making it too much of a stretch. So yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, so this is gonna be all cleaned up. This patio project is like 2 years in the making. In my mind it's 3 years in the making. I bought this thing over a year ago. Cement, yes, this was I actually bought this in 2020, right before the pandemic, and then I had surgery and I couldn't lift things, so it's been sitting here, been moved a lot. I mean, you see the bags are already torn. I have to put some off of the and have to cover them because there's this area gets a little bit of rain. So anyway, so I'm gonna show you what the plants look like now, so that in a month, um, once things starts warming up and the plants are more established, especially the seeds that I have sowed, then I can see the difference. So here's my one my one splurge this last month. It's called Ligularia. It's actually not the one that I like. It's so hard to find the Ligularia. They call it a tractor seat, and the one that I want I mean, imagine these leaves without these wavy edges, just like an actual straight smooth circle. So they look like, you know, they're circular with these little indentations. So that's why they're calling it tractor seeds. So hard to find them online. Well, online I can, there's a lot of vendors that would sell them seeds, and I don't know that I want to get into that yet. So this is the closest I can find. I am on the notification list for Enchanted Gardens, so because they do have what I want by their pond area, but they don't have any to sell. And in my mind, I'm like, let's just dig up some of the roots and let's propagate that. But yeah, so hopefully I will get a notification soon or sometime in the future that that particular one is available. So this used to be all vegetables, but this garden, because there were mostly vegetables and annuals, therefore they're mostly annuals. So in the winter, it get really sparse, and I'm kind of getting tired of having hardly any landscaping during the winter. And you'll see that now when I go through the rest of the garden. I would like to have the perennials that are evergreen, like the Ligularias, kind of interspersed, and the honeysuckle, I realize is an evergreen. This birds of paradise from my neighbor who moved away is an evergreen. So, and lilies and irises throughout are evergreens. So I'm planning on doing a lot of those kind of in between, but still maintain certain area mostly for vegetables. I do have I finally caved in and I bought the galvanized style vegetable bed, which I'm going to be installing in the other part. So this area, so I'm going back to this section, is really going to be, my vision is, it's more of an extension of the patio and my working area. So I have this bench that I've been moving around throughout the years. I had a cover on there. I think I'm just going to remove that because it kind of looks tacky. That came from the gun crate that I had picked up from my neighbor when he threw it away a few years ago. So I think I'm gonna just take that out. So even though it's exposed, my whole point there was to not have it exposed to rain, but I'm just gonna store stuff there that will be okay to get wet, like my pots, my plastic pots, maybe some tools. So this is like, and really, because it's exposed on top, it's still gonna get wet anyways, but just not like really get completely wet. So anyway, so this area right here will be, like where Nina's at, will be another, again, an extension of the patio. It won't be the same level as this patio. It will still be maybe an inch lower, just like this, these pavers. So these pavers actually, the pavers that I had here were in that dirt area that Nina was is laying on. So I'm kind of conflicted whether I want to continue that pattern, which kind of makes sense. I think I might just do that and then do my walkway here. So I really want, I'm not gonna throw these pavers out. Definitely I'm gonna I don't know how rotten this is. It might be rotten in the back. These are the construction scraps that I had picked up from like the home constructions in the neighborhood. So I think these are probably rotten on the side. So I might just end up throwing those away. So mostly perennials interspersed with edibles. So I have like that is edible. I have herbs that will be here, that are edible, obviously. And so I have sage, chives, oregano, and I tried my hand. I tried to propagate the rosemary, it didn't take, so I have a few more cuttings inside. I have sowed seeds for Chinese kale. So far they look okay. And I have blue curled Scotch kale, and I know I have Swiss chard here. I'm hoping that some of them will do well, because in the past I've had slugs eat them, and I know I should, it's better to do them in house. I'm working like in my lab, and sow them inside and then transfer them as transplants. But my problem is once they grow into seedlings, then it's hard for me to maintain them. That's when they start dying off on me. Sprouting them is not a problem, but keeping them um, alive until I'm ready to put them in the ground, that's a different situation. So I do have a mix here. These things right here, the cilantro from, just previous seasons, I'm just gonna let that grow. I have parsley there. I don't know if I have a good batch of parsley seeds. This is from Baker Creek, so I doubt that that's the case, but I don't know why it's not sprouting. And I haven't had parsley in like this entire previous year, and so that's kind of weird. And I have um, some flowering plants here I got from the nursery, and I think they're like the rocket every time I do these videos. And then these things are wildflowers that actually sprouted in a different part of the garden, and so I had picked them up because they were in my walkway. So I hate to be stepping on it, but I need that space to walk on. So I figured, if they don't survive during my transplanting them, it's not going to be such a waste, because they're not going to survive being stepped on by the dogs anyways. So then I had a cutting there of a hibiscus. I don't think it made it, but it's okay. That's a cranberry hibiscus from my bigger plant, which I kind of regret putting there, but now I know how it grows, then I know where to put them better. But I do have a whole bunch of them in different pots that I have propagated, so not a big deal. That's a cutting from the thornless blackberry that I have on another part. That mother plant hasn't really done me anything as far as giving me fruits. In fact, one of them I thought was dead, and I put it in another part thinking, okay, if you die here, that's fine, but it actually liked it better there. I think it's getting more moisture. This one is a tree apple tree volunteer, so I'm kind of, since it wants to live there, I'm gonna just go ahead and do like an espalier. I mean, right now the espalier process that I'm doing is kind of not really pretty, but because I had the bitter melon here, and the what do you call this, the spinach, yeah, this alugbati here, I forget the name in English, um, they were very nice crawling over, and so I didn't want to disturb it too much. So now that it's all pretty much dead, I can cut it from the base, let the roots kind of decompose in its place for further fertilization, and then I can clean up the section. So imagine all of this just last week. This was nice and leafy. Okay, and then I cleared this out too this last year, because I had, didn't have any other plants to propagate, were mostly the butterfly lilies. It served its purpose as far as ground cover, but it felt so, I don't know, it felt so choked over here with all that, because apparently they like it here, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I just have this butterfly, this African iris here, and this is the one. Oh my goodness, this took forever to grow from seed. This is iris, Pacific Coast iris, that I got the seed from my uncle back in 2019. So now we're 3 years in. So this thing took forever to get to this. I mean, I'm actually surprised. That's about a foot long now, the leaf. So I'm hoping that this is a good sign. And then around that, I kind of just did a ditch, or like a little trench, a swale, if you will, a small swale for Chinese broccoli and wild rocket arugula. So then I have to clean up. These were nice and green. The African iris. No, this is the butterfly. No, this is the what is this? Spider lily. This is the spider lily. And then I have the dill. I think these are dill volunteers. I'm just gonna let this be. So this is the area that I cleaned out. This used to have a paver walkway. It's like not even a foot wide, so it was hard for me to go in between. So I ended up just kind of letting this entire section go. But this was my vegetable garden from the beginning, except now it's getting shaded out by the fig tree, which is gonna just stay here forever, and this crepe myrtle, which grew from seed but now is dead. I'm kind of bummed out because I had it in a pot but never really put it down on the ground, and so it was just anchoring itself in the ground. And when we had a big storm, it got knocked over, so it tore off those roots, and I tried to revive it putting in this pot, but I don't think it's doing anything. So if anything, this tree is just gonna be put in the wood chipper. So which is probably a good thing that it because it was sitting here and it was shading out that section, so maybe that is a good thing. Thank you, Lord. I know this was a gift from you, because it's, you know, I've never bought it, came from seed, and look at how nice and strong this tree is. But yeah, if it doesn't grow, then that's pretty much it. There's nothing I can do about it. Here's another section that I cleaned out. Again, the butterfly, the butterfly ginger was here. I have hibiscus kind of sprouting, leafing out. The spider lily I have to clean out. So not sure what I want to do here yet. I know I'm probably gonna dig out. So I'm in a conundrum. This was all butterfly ginger, which came from that bed, which I've been spreading around, and because it's so easy to spread it. But this last season I saw hummingbirds drinking from it, and so it's in such a close proximity to the patio that I can easily watch them. So now that I'm talking through this, I am going to dig those up, and I'll probably propagate more of the honeysuckle so that I can train the honeysuckle to come through here. So that's an idea. But really what I want is for this to not be taller than this thing, because it was blocking when I had the butterfly ginger. It was blocking my view of that part. And it would be not easy, but it would make sense to just extend these gravel to and just make that a gravel area. But the thing that I don't like when I do stuff like that is that I'm like that patio area where I had my workbench, is that there was like years of fertile soil that's in there. So I had to like scoop it and put them in buckets because I didn't want to just toss them out and just mix them with the other soil that I have. But yeah, so I don't want to do that here. This is good good soil underneath. So, and I have the lime here that I planted, which I don't think it's going to turn into a lime, because it's now growing from its stock root, which is probably most likely not the line that I paid for. So that would need to, I don't want to get rid of it, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to move that to over there where the calamansi tree, and it's kind of taking a while to, there you go, and just have it grow there. And there is an orange one here, or no, a lemon, that I think I'm gonna go ahead and move. Now that I'm staring at it and I have a blank slate, I'm gonna move right here in the middle, so that when it grows, hopefully the problem is I don't know, I think it has to be a dwarf lemon, because it came from it came free from a neighbor who had it in her pot for the longest time. So if that one is a dwarf, then I can plant it here and it will probably grow just up to like this, maybe 3 feet, 4, maybe 3, hopefully not taller than because then it's gonna block my line of sight, but we'll see. Okay, so again, I extended this used to be all the pea gravel, so I had to push, I don't want to just bury these with compost. I wanted to preserve them, so I had to like push them out this way, so that kind of exposed all the dirt, or I have to quit saying dirt, all the soil that's underneath that. And really that soil is compacted because it's always been just just around the tree section. So this is the part that I need to start building up, kind of probably have to till it a little bit and move some compost in there, and then cover them with mulch. I actually want this section to be a little bit further out this way, so you can see, so it follows that line right there. So I'm thinking I need to move this a little bit closer, maybe a little bit wider this way and through that, and that would give me more space to put something there, maybe some ground covers. No, I don't know. Okay, so then we're following this along. I need more, ideally this path right here that you're seeing, ideally, if I have the money and I want to spend it, that would be all gravel. But gravel really it's hard to maintain if you think about it, because of the weeds. So I might just end up doing probably just mulch. I'll probably just mulch around there. That's still a good amount of mulch. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 20 bags, 20 to 30 bags of mulch. So that's $90. And buying it is not it's not the difficult part. I mean, it is difficult spending the money, but it's actually getting it here, because I don't have the truck anymore. So I need to get that loaded, and I don't have enough room in my car, and then getting that offloaded. So I'm stuck in that, and I've been in this mental debate for a while, paying someone to do it just to save me the agony of doing the manual labor myself, but just refusing to pay that money. So maybe I'll just do it a little bit at a time. So like I've been doing this for this entire garden anyways. All right, so then here I kept this bed. This bed was actually narrower right here, all the way through. So just imagine this line. And so what I did was, because I wanted more room, so that area right here, that's actually a section that I'm going to be able to walk on. It's all leaves. So this, between that, and so it's easier now. Aw, there's a caterpillar there. Okay, am I stepping on any more caterpillars? So now this bed is wider. Um, so then I can step through here, and then this bed is narrower, but it's higher. You just don't see it because it's all covered up. And then over here, that's all mulch, because that's my way of preventing grass from growing in. It's helped me in the past, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. I think I still have some grasses here that kind of escaped. So here's an apple tree, and I think this is just the crab apple tree. So it's edible, but it's not the sweet apple. So it's more really, for me, it's gonna be more ornamental. Well, no, not ornamental. It has its functions. It's a native plant, so it will serve as if it gets bigger, as habitat for birds and a source of food too. So, and then I don't know what to do with this one. Actually, this thing's a little arch. My vision is the one of my peanut beans to cover that, so kind of looks awkward right now. But oh, these are the ones I'm excited about. These things right here, those are walking onions, Egyptian onions. So this would be a great substitute for onions, although I don't really use the like this one. This is garlic that's been here for a while. I don't really use it. I like the aesthetics of it. I need to start using these plants more for food than for my own visual pleasure. So here's the thornless blackberry that I propagated from. It was doing well. I don't know if the coloring of this is because it's changing leaves, or I think it might be the winter. But yeah, I wanted to train it to cover this trellis right here and pretty much just leave it there. So like these things right here, I need to push in a little bit more if I can. Yeah, I can't. So this is a calamansi I've been trying to grow. Well, it's been trying to grow here for a while. Kind of grew on its own, so we'll just let that be. This tree. This tree, I think, is gonna go. I hate it and I love it. I love it when it has these blooms, these purple blooms. It's so pretty, but it doesn't last that long. Not even maybe a week, a couple of weeks. But the rest of the year is just this sad looking tree, and it's just taking up room. So I'm constantly redoing this area because I don't know what to do with it. I had wildflowers there, but then I had put this bench. It's because of this stupid bench. I acquired this from a neighbor, and I refused to like part with it. And so it's really shading, because the east is right here, so it's shading all of the plants from behind it. So I need to clear it out. Really, what I'm going to do is put my galvanized garden bed here. So that's that. And then I have propagated some trees over here. Well, I have more of I moved some of the ginger lilies here, the one that has the nice blooms. Hopefully I picked the right one. They all look the same when they're just roots. But I have two kinds, and I'm hoping that I propagated the right kind. Otherwise, I may have killed all of that one special kind that I got. Anyways, we'll find out. There's a pawpaw there. There's a pawpaw here I got for free. But I really didn't do any justice to maintaining it. It got shaded out. I have this Mexican petunia here, and then I'm growing this Vitex. I don't know if it made it. It may not have made it. Oh, it did. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Is it alive? I just killed it. Oh yeah, it's alive. What am I gonna do? I don't want to get dirty. I guess I'll put him here, right? I'll put him here. Okay, I'm gonna stop.